Still with me, eh? Good for you. I suppose that now's a good time to confess that I'm actually the nighttime janitor at Alcorn McBride. I only took this gig so they'd give me one of those cool Yeti cups. So, I'm only pretending to be an expert on this topic, but I heard somewhere that audio players work better when they have audio files to play. It's true, I googled it. Let's learn more about how the file management interface of RidePlayer works, including loading files to the product. We're big fans of keeping things simple, so RidePlayer supports the most common, high-quality, royalty-free audio format known to mankind, the WAV file. This includes 16-bit and 24-bit files, mastered with a 44.1, 48, or 96 kHz sample rate. Mono, stereo, and multi-channel waves are all welcome here too. Hey, look! I've got some files right here that I really want to play on my RidePlayer. Let me show you how we get them on the product. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the WinScript project that we left off with in the last lesson. We named all the audio outputs and configured some DSP. So you notice on the left here that one of the resources I have available to me is the media files. I'm just going to go ahead and double click that. This list is quite empty right now, but this represents the media files that are within the project, this WinScript project. What I'm going to do now is open that folder that I showed you earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these files and just drag and drop it into this list. There we go. All right. This file is now part of my project. What I mean by that is this file will now show up in certain areas wherever I'm asked to pick a file, like if I'm running a play event, for example, which is something we'll do here in a little bit. Another thing I mean by that is this file is physically stored along with my project. So if I were to actually look at the project folder here, where my script file is stored, a media files folder is created along with it, and you'll see within it is a copy of that file. Now, one important thing is this file does not exist on the RidePlayer yet, simply because I haven't connected to it. So let's do that next. Just going to go up here and click Connect. There's my RidePlayer. Okay. All right. We're now connected to the product, and we'll notice that WinScript automatically pushed that file once we connected. So we can look here and see this file now exists locally on my computer, and it is also present within RidePlayer. You'll also notice another clip here called 1K Tone. This was voted as our engineer's #1 song of 2019 and ships with every single RidePlayer unit. Notice how this clip only exists on RidePlayer since it's shipped with the unit. And also notice how these boxes right here in the Scene 1 mono left is included with this checkbox and 1K Tone is not. What this means is that this file belongs to my script, it's part of the project, whereas this file does not. It just happens to be here because we see it on the RidePlayer. Now, one cool thing I can do here is just right-click on this and go Retrieve. And when I do that, it will actually download from the RidePlayer to my computer and be stored in that local folder I showed you earlier. For the next feature I'm going to show you, I spared no expense and hooked RidePlayer up to a full Meyer sound line array. Hang on. What? Alright. Well, guys, that was our accountant. And apparently he didn't like the whole spared no expense thing, so I guess we're just going to have to put up with this tiny little speaker I got on Amazon. Anyway, what I'm here to show you is that you can highlight any clip here, pick an output channel, and click the play button here to actually give it a listen. Anyway, it's a great way to test your clips out and make sure they play properly in the RidePlayer before diving into the scripting portion where you're actually doing playback commands. So let's just recap. Remember that we have two storage locations for the files. We have your computer along with your project, and we have the RidePlayer itself. This column right here shows us where this file is located, whether it's computer, RidePlayer, or both. And we can always right-click on any file to send or retrieve it from one to the other. We can also do other things in this right-click menu, such as delete the file, and we can also test the file on the currently selected output. That can also be done up here in this menu. Pretty simple, right? Before we bid each other farewell for the next lesson, I'm going to copy a few more files to this in preparation for our next lesson where we learn about playback control. Notice how the files are transferring. All done. Just going to go ahead and save my project. And I'll see you guys in the next lesson.